George. Is it finally the time you score some points in F1? Or maybe even a podium. Imagine if you won the whole dang thing. It's been nearly 2 years now since your F1 career has started, and you've yet to score your maiden point. But with the looks of the whole practice sessions yesterday, it might be a different story tomorrow morning. At the time I'm recording this video, FP3 is finished and qualifying is in 2 hours, and I will probably throw in a clip from my reaction after qualifying. Hopefully George does well, because I know we all really would like to see him score some points this weekend, okay? Poor guy, he's stuck in a Williams. I mean, with all due respect, their car is kind of a word that rhymes with kit. So, now he's in Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton, as you probably have all heard, because headlines of every F1 news account, Lewis Hamilton tested positive for COVID-19, and therefore he is out, and they needed a replacement, and they were considering options like George Russell, Nico Hülkenberg, Mazepin, other guys like that. But George Russell got the seat, which I am thrilled to see. I hope he can succeed. To the looks of it, with his FP1 session, he was P1 by nearly 0.2 of a second, and he was 0.3 faster than his teammate Bottas. With FP2, he was 1/10 faster than P2, and he was 0.6 faster than Bottas. That's pretty good. Now, yeah, it's been 2 years now since he's joined F1, so let's talk about some of his struggle stories where he came very, very close to scoring his maiden point. In the 2019 German Grand Prix at the Hockenheimring, that was before I was an F1 fan. I just recently became an F1 fan this year. This is my little 2 cents. I am completely obsessed. I'm from the United States. Yeah, not all of us are just NASCAR lovers. I'd much rather watch a car go around a road course than go around an oval ring for 3 hours. NASCAR races, I'm sure they're great, but F1 is just more interesting in my opinion. Anywho, please, if you're a NASCAR fan, don't go hating on me in the comment section. I'm sorry. I'm just more interested in F1, European stuff. Yeah. Back to George Russell. Sorry, we got on a little bit of a tangent there. So, 2019 Hockenheimring, he had a 13th place finish. After 2 drivers were disqualified, he was moved up to P11. He would have been in the points if he weren't overtaken by his teammate Kubica on the closing laps. Next up, we have the 2020 Styrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. In that race, he was 11th in quali, which was his best start to this date. In 2 hours is hopefully going to be his best qualifying unless something bizarre happens. But P11 is the best so far we got. In that race, he spun out quite early and he just did not have the pace for the rest of the race. He finished P16. Next up, we have the 2020 Tuscan Grand Prix at Mugello. In that race, he started in the back of the pack, actually. He started in P18, and he worked his way up, and he was P9. But when he was P9, the race got red flagged, and the session stopped for a while. And then once it finally restarted, he had a horrible restart and dropped all the way back to P12. He was only able to overtake Grosjean. Props go out to him for the scary event we saw happen last weekend. Thank goodness he's alive. I don't know if you guys have seen his message and him describing what happened and what was going through his mind after he crashed. It was just released like yesterday. It like broke my heart. It almost had me up in tears. Oh my goodness. All respect to him. He's a hero. Yeah, so on the final laps of the 2020 Tuscan Grand Prix at Mugello, George Russell was only able to overtake Grosjean, and he finished 11th. Again, 1 place outside of the points. This poor kid, if he just had a good car. I guess he does this weekend. He better make the most of it. And then, of course, we have the 2020 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. I think I pronounced that right? I don't know. Hopefully I did. Everything sounds like a little bit different with the American accent. All the people with the British accent, most of the time they pronounce words. I'm trying to pronounce it right, because you know how I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here. The D sound isn't very emphasized in like a British accent, so they go like Grand Prix. And then I like caught myself saying like Grand Prix. I'm like, no, like the right way to say it if you're an American is Grand Prix. Anywho. So yeah, we know what happened. Hopefully we all know what happened. At Imola, all the drivers were talking about how much they love that circuit. I think even George Russell was praising how much he loved that circuit. Lewis Hamilton was like, we need more circuits like this in F1. I think that was him, whatever. And everyone was loving the circuit. The grip was great, the turns, there was fast corners. Kimi Räikkönen did not famously say, yeah, the first couple corners are alright, but everything else is, yet again, another word that rhymes with kid. He said that about Abu Dhabi. Anywho, Kimi Räikkönen did not say that about Imola circuit. I'm getting on a huge tangent. Yes, George Russell. He qualified 13th, so 2 places behind his best qualifying today, but hopefully changed in 2 hours. Anywho, he qualified P13 and he crashed behind the safety car. He says that was one of the biggest mistakes of his career and he's gonna learn from it, and he was heartbroken. I saw him sitting by the fencing like during the race, like I saw it on TV, obviously I wasn't there in person. Coronavirus, yay! And it's also in Italy, and I do not live in Italy, I live in the Midwest of the United States. Maybe you can tell by my accent. Yeah, okay, so he was promoted to P10. He was actually in P11, like he would have been in P11 behind the safety car, but remember Max's tire failure? That brought Russell up to P10. Crashed behind the safety car, game over. Anywho, so now this weekend we have the SAKHIR Grand Prix in Bahrain. And man, am I excited. FP3 was not the same story as FP1 and FP2. He was P1, like shocking everyone. If you just look at FP1 and FP2, he's just a cheaper Lewis Hamilton. Because you can't get any higher than P1, you know. A $39 million cheaper asset than Lewis Hamilton, I guess. If he does better than Bottas, that might shake things up a little bit. I mean, and think about it. Lando Norris, back in the day, he raced against George Russell when they were kids. And George Russell just dominated, beat everyone. And Lando said he rarely was able to compete with George, and George was like the hero they all looked up to. Now imagine if George got signed to McLaren and Lando got signed to Williams. Imagine how different story that would be. George would probably, I mean, I love Lando. Lando is probably my favorite. He is my favorite F1 driver. I also love Max. And comment down below who your guys' favorite F1 driver is. And my favorite team is McLaren. And also comment down below who your favorite team is. Lando and McLaren, kind of, yeah. Anywho, if you've been watching the video for this long, holy crap, thank you very much. So if you subscribed, we could get more really ridiculous content. I think just listening to a person with a Midwestern accent talk about in a very like not American sport, it's so crazy how we just like don't know about it in the US. I guess there are some fans. There's probably quite a bit of fans like down in Texas and Austin where the Circuit of the Americas is. Yeah, I'd love to see a race there sometime. That's actually ideal. That's what I'm trying to do with this. Maybe if the channel blows up, I can start making some money off this. And then I can go to F1 races and show you guys all the stuff. I'm not quite an adult yet, but almost getting there. So I'm almost on my own, and I just love F1. And obviously getting into it this late, and also being from the United States, I don't think being a driver is an option to have a career in. So this is my little cry for help. This is my last little idea that I've had that I could get a career in F1. And there's no way I could be an engineer. I don't have that brain. My older brother, though, he's got the brain of an engineer. He can fix up cars. So maybe he can be an F1 mechanic. I don't know. Not really his style, though. He likes American trucks. I mean, he's not very yee. I guess he's kind of a happy medium of like country and city, you know. He just had to sell his Ford Bronco, which is his 80s Ford Bronco, which is his dream car. He just had to sell it recently because he realized it was going to be a piece of work and he's about to go to college. Anywho, that's super sad. And whoa, have I gotten on a huge tangent. Hopefully you're not bored hearing my life story. Anywho, so back to George Russell. I am very excited. I really want him to succeed. Oh my goodness. Imagine. Oh, I'm scared. I don't even want to say it out loud because I don't want to jinx it, but imagine if the same thing happened to him that happened in Imola, where he crashes behind the safety car. That would be so unfortunate. Anywho, I don't even know if my video is still recording. Let's hope it is. I'm just gonna check real quick. Okay, yeah, it is. Whoa, 17 minutes. This is gonna be a lot to edit on iMovie because right now I don't have any other viable option to edit my videos. And we're kind of low budget right now, as you can see. We're zero budget, so we've got a notebook of notes. This is how dedicated I am for you guys. I wrote all these things down during Spanish and chemistry yesterday. An entire page of notes. This is more notes that I wrote during both of those classes. Anywho, don't tell my mom I said that. Thank you all for watching. Go George Russell. Let's score your maiden point. And see you guys in the next video when some crazy news story breaks out. Or maybe not so crazy, because I'll honestly take anything. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, tell your friends if you like to hear a crazy American talk about F1. See you next time. Peace. Oh my goodness. P 200ths of a second, 2.6 second, 26 thousandths of a second away from pole position for George Russell. Bottas just barely beat him out. Whatever. It's fine. Let's see how he does tomorrow. Hopefully he can get a better start. Let's see it. And hopefully what happened in Imola does not happen. I think I might break down crying if that happens. Okay, peace out. Bye. Thank you for watching.